Hi guys, I'm Mark.
I'm Penny.
And we are the Oysterboys, and for some reason, Penny really wanted to try and make Carling. So...
Number one selling beer in the UK by consumption. It's
yes.
the UK's favourite beer.
But it's shit.
Hey, how can you say it's shit when it's the UK's number one selling beer? And Foster's second, so, you know.
So what we do, we'll start at the bottom and work our way up. I think, to be honest, actually, you've been wanting to do this for a while, because I remember before I moved back into this house, so that's over 2 years ago now, I think.
Yeah.
You wanted to do this, and we were going to try and do it. I think we might have tried it, but the yeast was dead. Yeah,
you didn't put it in a yeast starter, and it just didn't work. So I've been wanting to do it for ages. I've had the kit upstairs for ages.
Yeah.
So the recipe is from Dave Lyne's book.
What a guy.
We've done so many recipes. We did the Peroni, it was really good. And I saw Carling, number one selling beer, and I said, well, we've not had a bad one yet. Can it all be good?
Let's get a bad one. I'm going to put this in the glass so we can see how they both look next to each other.
You've been looking forward to this?
Absolutely not. I've been not looking forward to this at all. I can't pour beer for shit today. They're pretty different, actually, straight away.
Well,
looks-wise.
So
you've moved this keg about 8 times today. So
well,
it could be slightly clearer. Yours
just because of the glass as well. Hey. So the thing is that Carling 1840 was created. It's actually Canadian beer. It's not a British beer. Even though everywhere it's a Union Jack and stuff like that. I know now it's brewed in Burton on Trent. But yeah, 1840, and it so like I say, London, Canada, Ontario, wasn't it, that we found. And then it come to the UK in 1952, and by 1980 it was the number one selling beer.
Because it's cheap.
No comment.
Although weirdly, if you go to buy a keg of it, it worked out pretty much the same price as Stella. And if I was going to do that, I know exactly which of those two beers I would buy.
So
I don't know why I'm topping this up. I'm not going to drink it.
So the Carling recipe that you'd already known notes on the can that it says that it has glucose syrup in it.
Yeah.
So sugar, basically, it's liquid sugar, isn't it?
And Dave Lyne in his recipe uses table sugar probably.
Yeah,
do you use table sugar or brewing sugar in yours?
I use brewing sugar.
Yeah.
So it's roughly about a third is brewing sugar. And I think that's why it's come out so clear. Is because of that. Now,
so light? Do you mean the colour?
Sorry, so light. Yeah. Because I mean his book, it's 1975, isn't it? So, you know, this was before Carling was number one.
So it's almost a 50-year-old book now.
Yeah. So
which is crazy. So I mean, Carling could have looked like this in 1975.
Could have. It could have.
Water, barley malt, barley, wheat. Do you use wheat malt in yours?
No.
Oh, you didn't do a very good job. So basically what we've done is
it's crushed lager malt, white sugar, Hallertau hops. That's it.
Should we see what close an approximation you've got? Okay, so I mean, looks-wise, mate, it's not. The colour's off, isn't it? I mean, this one's crystal clear, but it will have been filtered within an inch of its life.
Yeah.
This one is like a much more of a straw colour than a golden colour.
Yeah,
than this
absolutely.
one
It's more like a Corona, isn't it?
It's got a tiny bit of a haze, but yeah, it's a lot lighter.
Yeah.
Yours actually looks more appealing in the way that the bubbles on this are really big, big bubbles, whereas this, although the head's dying down a bit, yours is probably a better example. Much smaller, tight-knit, close bubbles.
Gassed it properly.
You've gassed it properly, yeah. If that's the only thing you've done well.
It's not my recipe.
I don't know. Right.
And so, yeah, I mean, when we made it, this was made in a pressure fermenter with under pressure. So
before you melted it.
Should have no off flavours.
Yeah.
So, okay, well, should we smell it?
Yeah, I mean, okay. I'm guessing we're not scoring this, are we? We're just doing it. Is it anything like it?
Okay, yeah.
Right. So let's smell the Carling.
Smells like Carling. It's got that weird bitterness taste.
It's almost like a spicy smell, isn't it?
It's spicy, but I always think
it's not in a good way.
An acrid bitterness.
Yeah.
You know, like almost if you. I'm trying to think of a word that's like a new car smell.
It's almost
like artificial.
It's almost like a limey. Like a really citrusy note, but it's not lemon.
Not a nice one.
And not a nice one. No, it's like a lime cleaning product.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that's it. It smells like they've just cleaned the lines.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sort of
maybe that's why they do it, so that they can.
What, they clean the lines with Carling before the real beer?
People can drink Carling in a pub and think, oh, they must have cleaned the lines here. This must be a nice place. It's no, just Carling just tastes like fucking line cleaner.
Right.
But it smells like it.
Should we smell ours? I think it's got that same bitterness taste of the line cleaner.
Yeah. In fact, you know what?
It smells the same, doesn't it?
It does. But do you know what I think you can smell as well? Like rubber.
Yes,
It's like a rubbery smell.
In both smell of rubber.
Yeah. Well done.
Which is weird because
because elastic bands aren't listed on the ingredients list for
but
Carling.
what's strange because it's Hallertau, so I don't know why whether it's the interaction with the brewing sugar or something. But you know, I mean, there's a lot in it. There's a lot. I mean, per 25 litres is 100 grams
Of Hallertau?
Yeah, it's quite a lot of Hallertau.
Okay. And when's that added, like in this recipe?
Start, boil.
All of it?
Yep.
No, nothing at the end?
Nope, all of it. Yep, all of it. All boiling hops.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, rubber,
so
limes and lime cleaner.
Lesson is don't add don't bits of Hallertau.
God.
So, should we taste Carling?
Yeah?
People might want to make this when they find out how much it
I'm
costs.
not going to want to make it after they've watched this video. Oh God, that's awful.
It's always tastes of nothing.
I'm cold.
Well, I got it from the fridge from the shop and put it straight in the fridge in ours, but... Well, one of my friends once said, he likes Foster's because it's a beer you can drink warm.
Do you remember when we did that? God, that tastes so bad. Do you remember?
Tastes of nothing.
No, that's like saying cucumber tastes of nothing. It doesn't taste foul. Do you remember when we did that John Bull kit?
Yes.
And I said it's like coloured alcoholic
That tastes
water
like beer.
that has got like a little bit, like homeopathic beer.
Can you imagine drinking pints of that?
I would not. I would not. It's bad. It's really... If you're a big Carling fan, I mean, you've probably stumbled upon this by accident, but...
The good thing about pubs that sell Carling is they always sell Guinness, so at least they can have a Guinness instead.
So what you've got, in a lot of these pubs, Carling,
Strongbow,
Foster's, Strongbow Dark Fruits.
Yeah.
Premium lager would be Kronenberg 1664.
Yeah.
As their, if you've got...
Madry now. Madry would have replaced it.
If you've won on the dogs, you'll go in and you'll buy, or your racing pigeons
they might have a Spitters like a John Smith's or I saw Worthington's the other day.
But Boddington's it'd be, mate.
Boddington's.
Bodies.
Extra smooth.
Carling, Foster's, both Strongbows, the normal
Yeah.
and the dark fruits. Kronenberg 1664 premium lager, and then Boddington's.
Yep.
And that's it. That's
Delicious.
the bar. Yeah. And then on the back,
Bottles of the same beer in the fridge.
all the same beers in the fridge, and then the back bar where all the spirits are, there'd be like
Glen's vodka.
Glen's vodka, Whitley Neal flavoured gin.
Yeah.
Yeah, and probably like all of the flavours of Whitley Neal flavoured gin.
Gordon's gin. That's got to be there.
Corkies or sours.
Bells.
Sours,
Yeah.
apple sour,
Yeah.
like the Corkies shots things, those kind of things. Yeah.
Bells and Famous Grouch. 2 whiskey selections, that'll be it.
And if you asked for a rum and coke, there's a really strong chance that'd be Lamb's Navy rum.
Yeah. When are we going?
Oh, there's a fly trying to get in mine.
Are you ready anyway to taste our version? Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers.
I think it tastes like Carling turned up.
One thing I would say
we've
about
always
this,
found that.
Yeah, the homebrew versions of the recipes like that we make, they're always like a more in your face version.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of similar notes to it. One thing I can tell you is that if
this is sweeter, isn't it?
If Molson Coors made this in a 5-gallon batch, they have not put 100 grams of Hallertau in at the start for bittering, because this is way more bitter than this. And it's probably because they don't want to spend the money on this. Put it in. This does not need 100 grams of Hallertau.
No. I think if I was...
Pass me that book.
You think I've made it wrong?
Possibly. Okay. 100 grams of Hallertau hops. Yeah, boil the extract with the hops for 1.5 hours.
Get out all these alpha acids.
Dave Line had clearly had
Too many Carlin.
a fair bit to drink when he wrote this one, because it's so bitter.
Yeah.
So bitter. Or the alpha acid of Hallertau back then
Was not the strength.
was lower. I mean, that's really bitter. The bitterness aside, it's the same dog shit beer. Base notes. It's rubbish. It's absolutely rubbish. But it's the same kind of rubbish.
Yeah. Okay, I think you said, is it good? And I said, it's probably the worst beer that I've made, that it tastes how it should taste. And I think if I was to make this again, I won't, but if I was to try and replicate Carlin, I would drop down the Hallertau and maybe just have some sort of crystal malt in there, just to bring a bit of goldness out and just match the sweetness.
Yeah.
Should we try it?
I
Should
mean,
we
no,
replicate?
just don't do it again. Don't do it again.
Got half a keg for you of this as well.
Absolutely fucking not. What yeast do you think you used?
The yeast at the Amigo Labs. So, because we weren't sure if he used Nova. It was.
Oh, you had it spare, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I mean,
I wouldn't waste any good yeast on it. Although mine was a good yeast.
it was like 10 quid yeast, wasn't it?
It was lying around. Needed using.
How much did it cost to create this monstrosity?
63p.
A pint.
Yes.
So we're actually, I think that's assuming you use a cheaper yeast.
I think it was the Nova, which is £7, and the other one's £10. So
Something like that. Nova's a bit cheaper than that. But either way, this beer, if you're going to make it again, why would you? It would work out about 63p a pint. And to buy a can of Carling is
£1.40 I paid.
Is that from the petrol station?
No, it's from the
Off-license.
little off-license.
Yeah, off-license. Okay.
It's in a pack, so they got the price on the pack.
Yeah. Okay.
So £5.70.
So so it's like half the price, pretty much, just under half the price.
Bargain.
I don't think
Bargain.
that's bargain. No, I mean,
It is if you like Carlin. Do you think it's close enough to pass as Carlin?
do you know what? This is the same price. That's homebrew wise. The hazy summer pale that we had and served at your wedding. Right, that beautiful, juicy, hazy, hop-forward beer with great mouthfeel and a wonderful aroma costs the same as this.
Yeah, but what about you don't get the rubberiness and the bitterness from the Hallertau? And they might not think the line's been cleaned.
They could drink that and go, "Oh, these lines aren't too nice." But with this one, at least, I don't need. I'm thirsty, right?
Sometimes we finish
hesitant.
both beers.
I'm hesitant to pick them up. Yeah, sometimes we do finish all the beer we've got.
Well, it was a 4-pack, so there's another can in there for you as well.
Fucking not. No way. This is really bad. This is really bad.
It's bad, but it's meant to taste. It's not bad that I fucked up. It doesn't taste anything like it, and I completely. There's no off flavors or anything like that. It tastes how it's supposed to taste.
It's just tastes how it's supposed to taste. It's like a more bitter version of that. I mean, the base.
But how many
base
of your
tastes are the same. This is too bitter. This is too bitter.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. But so if someone wanted to replicate this and they watch this video, I'd probably obviously scale it to size, but that's 100 grams for 25 litres, so I'd probably drop it to 60 grams
maybe less. I think probably less. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Are you familiar?
And then just put a bit more crystal malt in just to sweeten it up a bit to match it.
Are you familiar with the works of shock rock artist Alice Cooper?
No.
He did a song. He's done lots of songs, lots of famous ones. But there's one of the songs that he did, which I think really is fitting for this situation. It's called "Welcome to My Nightmare."
Okay.
Right. That is how I feel right now, because there's Carling, and then there's another version of Carling.
Homebrew Carling.
It's like water everywhere, but not a drop to drink, isn't it? It's like I've got 2 pints in front of me. I don't fucking want either of them.
So, but how many times do people ask you when you say, I do homebrew, and they do, do you do any nice lagers?
I mean, people ask me, do I do nice lagers all the time? The answer's yes. But sometimes people say, can you make Stella? And you go, yeah, because we can now. Cheers, Martin. Thank you. Yeah, well done. But if someone said to me, can you make Carling? I'd probably just say, no, because I don't want to.
So there's not going to be a volume 2 of this?
I would absolutely refuse. We're
not going back to the future, to where we are now.
If you want to sort of rebrand this channel as Oyster Boy, just one Oyster Boy, the lone oyster.
Yeah.
you feel free and you go and do that video. But this is shit.
Yeah.
Well done.
The flux capacitor might not be coming out and come drag you and go. Remember when you said you would
Unless
do
we were
volume
going to
2?
do it in that way, you know, when people say if you could travel back in time and kill Hitler as a baby, would you do it? Let's just go back.
He's a baby though.
Yeah, he would. Yeah, but if you could travel back in time, would you go and would you go and kill the person that started up carling?
Would you kill his mum? Stop it. Where'd you stop?
Yeah, we've all seen Terminator 2, haven't we?
Exactly. So, anyway, go back to 1840 and stop the making of Carlin. So, can you make Carlin? Yes.
Yes. Should you make Carlin? The science there's a quote in Jurassic Park, isn't it? I'll probably have to cut it in because I can't remember quite what he says. It's something like, the scientists spent so long wondering whether or not they could, they didn't stop to think whether or not they should.
Yeah, but your scientists were so preoccupied with whether or not they could, they didn't stop to think if they should.
Yeah, so well done, mate. You've successfully ruined my day.
I hope someone's going to make it.
No, I don't. So copies of Dave Lyon's book, Brewing Beers Like Those You Buy, are still available. There are some really good recipes in there.
Yeah.
This is not one of them. So don't waste your time.
I think Low and Brow is on my radar.
On your hit list. Okay.
And the Chimay.
Oh yeah, good shout actually. Yeah. I think there's a recipe for that in, you know, the other book that we got by someone.
Yeah.
There's a Chimay recipe.
I love the clones. I love clones.
Okay.
Interests me.
Well, thanks very much for watching, guys. Smash like, hit subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one. Oysters out. I'm not drinking that. I'm absolutely not drinking that. It's so bad.